Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
Bottom half of the third inning coming your way here on the Olympic Channel and NPF TV. So glad you could join us. Mike Konezovich along with Barbara Jordan, Ryan Fahey and the crew, Peter Ferrari, everybody doing a great job on the production out here this evening. The USSSA Pride holding on to a 3-0 lead over the Chicago Bandits late in that ball game as they look for a sweep in that 3-game series down there in Florida, and a swing and a miss by the newly inserted number 17, Yeoming Han, for the Eagles. Escobedo has faced 6 Eagle hitters so far and retired them all. And she's picked up 3 strikeouts in those 6 punch-outs so far. So Yeoming Han now trying to check up that swing, and again, they just cannot lay off that rise ball, Barbara, and that thing has really taken off on the Eagle hitters.
Escobedo continues to get ahead of the batters, and again, stretching the zone. This time we see her get her with that rise. Very tempting pitch.
Bandits in that game got a couple base hits from the top of the order with Marshall and Moss, but that was about it. 4 of the 5 hits against the Pride as this one is hit back, and Kristen Sandberg with an effort there at the screen, but she runs out of real estate. Kalani Ricketts picks up her 2nd win in the early going with 6 solid innings of work, and the lockdown closer, Jordan Taylor, comes in and picks up the save with a couple strikeouts in the 7th. So no balls and a strike here for Chao Jing. Actually, that's Chung Yen in there now. She came in defensively, number 37 for the Eagles. And she's in the hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. And that bat has laced it into left field, and a good job of playing her shallow there by Bailey Landry, who picks up her 2nd put out in her young NPF career for out number 2.
Nice job by Landry. Looks routine, but understands her fielding ability, so she's actually playing in knowing she can cover the ground if the ball is hit deep.
Yeah, that wind galing in a little bit certainly helps that situation. Anything hit towards left center is going to be brought right back to her as the first pitch to Leo Lili is in there for strike 1. Leo Lili 1 for 9 in the early season with a run scored. Charge of out hit the Eagles 4-0 so far. That ball's fouled right back towards us. And again, as you mentioned, Barbara, Dallas getting ahead of these hitters, and it gives her an opportunity to throw out of the strike zone and keep these headers off balance. There you get a good look at the left-handed hitting Leo Lili, shortstop for the Beijing Eagles. Here's the 0-2 from Dallas Escobedo. And again, she tries to get the hitters to go outside the strike zone. Third baseman Takiako playing about a step in off the third base bag. Same thing from Sadaraka over at first. Middle infield playing behind in regular position, and the 1-2 count. As the Charge try to hold on to a 1-0 lead, they got it on the base hit by Taylor Gadbois, and she came all the way around to score on the Nadia Taylor swinging bunt with 1 out in the first. Taylor now 2 for 2 in the ball game with a stolen base and a run scored. So Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and that catches the corner for another called strikeout, the 2nd of the ball game for Escobedo. As once again, she gets the eye, gets the call, and is able to go to the outside corner on that breaking pitch, and a good job there by Sandberg to frame that pitch for out number 3. So Escobedo has gone through the Eagle lineup all the way through with unscathed here in the first 3 innings of play. We'll head to the top half of the 4th in a pitcher's duel as it's the Charge 1 and the Eagles nothing on the Olympic Channel and NPF TV.
I got started at IMS here as an instructor a couple years back after I'd heard a couple of people I worked with were also instructors here. And after being in the industry of radio and sports phone and TV and play-by-play for as long as I have been, I figured that it would be a good thing to come on out. I had some free time. Come on out and help out some of the people that want to be the next people involved in these kind of things, next people that hit the radio airwaves and also do play-by-play. So I thought it was a great idea and a great place to do it at. When I'm here, it's great because there's always somebody that has either heard me, has wanted to meet me, and once they meet me, I explain to them, okay, it wasn't that big a deal. But if I'm always here if you need help with developing what you're passionate about. And that's what most people come here for. They have a passion. They want to do something. They want to do radio play-by-play. They want to do sports talk. They want to do updates, whatever it may be. I love being here.
Top half of the 4th inning of play and a 1-0 lead for the Texas Charge over the Beijing Eagles. As that pitch catches the outside corner, and Swing Away continues to earn the validation as the premier hitting machine at the highest levels of the game. The official batting station and hitting trainer for NPF is built to take the constant use and demands of the professional athlete. Now that same technology that's used by the pros is also available to all players of all ages as that fly ball is hit down to center. And that wind really held up that one as Chen Jia is able to settle under it for out number 1.
Sadaraka gave that ball a ride. A good drive to center, but again, the wind blowing in tonight. Someone's really going to have to get all of it to get it out of here.
Getting back to Swing Away is Barbara. Let's take a look at some keys right here in this ball game.
Well, the Charge is doing just that with Dallas Escobedo, setting the tone in the circle. They scored early. They got that run in the first inning. And I think a key to them is to score more and put this game away.
Leo Lili plays it off to short hop with a sidearm flip on the play over to Yuan Ming Han. Nicely done as number 5 now starting to really flash the leather, this time on Sandberg.
Leo Lili is really showing us her skills tonight at shortstop. Again, another high hopper. Leo Lili got a great jump, and really, she's very accurate in all of her skills. As we take a look at some of the keys for the Eagles, those are actually the keys for the Charge. And that's setting the tone early, as we talked about. But one of the other things was to make the routine plays on defense. But here for the Eagles, to not give up any big innings. So if the Charge get something going, limit it like they did in the first inning, only giving up 1 run. Offensively, they got to get their speed on the bases, and then they want to string together some base hits. And right now, they're just looking for any base hit, as the Eagles are hitless right now with Escobedo in the circle.
Missy Takiaku playing the hot corner tonight, 0 for 1 as she grounded out to the aforementioned Leo Lili. Back in the 2nd inning of play, here's the 1-1. That's fisted on the play, and it's going to be played in foul territory by Yuan Ming Han, and she makes the play to retire the side. So a nice 1-2-3 inning here for Wang Lan and the Beijing Eagles. So we will head to the bottom half of the 4th inning as both Escobedo and Wang Lan throwing up goose eggs all evening long so far. It's 1-0 Charge. We'll be back after a brief timeout on the Olympic Channel at NPF TV.
And wanted to be part of sports radio. So after trying a couple other things, and I'm not really being what I wanted to do, I found my passion for media and especially sports radio at the Illinois Media School. What I enjoy is finding like-minded people like myself that have a passion for the media industry and are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals and be what they want to be in this industry. And that's what I like about the students you continue to see at the Illinois Media School. A lot of talent, a lot of drive, and that pushes you to be better as well as making everybody's work better on top of that. My name's Rick Camp. I'm a producer at 670 The Score. I'm an instructor at the Illinois Media School, and I am IMS.
If you can dream it, we can make it. That is custom eye black or battle paint. Eye black plus color. Visit eyeblack.com, home of the official eye black of National Pro Fast Pitch. We head to the bottom half of the fourth inning of play, a 1-0 lead for Dallas Escobedo and the Texas Charge over the Beijing Eagles, as they will have the top of the order with Yuen-Wai Ning, Qian Jiha, and Lu Ying, possibly to come back and be reinserted into the lineup here for Teresa Wilson. You're talking about these players going over to the Team USA for the Charge, Barbara, and interesting situation as Dallas is going to handle that for her 10th consecutive out. You know, back early in the mid part of the new millennium, players were doing that in the NPF, going to Venezuela for the World Tournament. I had a chance to talk to Vicky Galindo about that, about traveling to Venezuela and, you know, going in the middle of the season as the first pitch is right there, but it does catch the top part of the strike zone for strike one to Chen Jia. And now they're going back to that particular role again, giving these players an opportunity to play on the world stage in anticipation of the 2020 Olympics coming up.
I think that's one of the reasons we see that Beijing has put a team here in National Pro Fast Pitch. We are seeing the growth of softball throughout the world. And I think the Eagles playing here in the United States, we're understanding how China plays softball, but they're also understanding how the Americans compete. But I love that they are in the league. I think it shows the growth. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another international team in the next year or two joining National Pro Fast Pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Chen Jia. Off to a good start offensively, as that's going to go right over the camera berth to our left. Yeah, your point's well taken there, Barbara. And, you know, as we get more international flavor in the league, of course, we've got the 6 Aussies playing right here in Chicago right now. That certainly changed the dynamic of the black and orange that play here at the ballpark at Rosemont. It's really good for both sides because the players certainly get their eyes open to different techniques. As there you see our fine sponsor, Eye Black, as that ball is squibbed down to Takiyaku to throw right across to Sadaraka. 1 up and 1 down here for the Eagles. Actually now 2 outs to the third hitter coming up, and that was a substitution earlier as Wang Bei came in. As there you get the speedy Chen Jia being thrown out there by Takiyaku. And the league kind of went back and forth on that too as far as their feelings about, you know, taking players off the rosters, but I just think that the depth of the teams now is so much greater that they can have these players go and experience that international competition, and the teams here are not missing a beat.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, back in 2010, USA Softball, specifically here in the United States, made the players choose either play professionally or play for USA Softball, and every member of that Olympic team that continued their career chose National Pro Fast Pitch because they knew and they believed that this is where the talent was at and this is where and why they could grow the game. So you have to look at what they've done. If you look at the depth of the talent on each one of these 6 teams here in the NPF, it continues to grow, and it's truly exciting for the sport.
0-2 pitch is wasted nicely by Escobedo, as she has now retired 11 consecutive Eagles here in the bottom half of the fourth, but just a 1-0 lead, so she's had to stay on her toes here in the circle as she goes and rocks to the bottom of it, and Sandberg tries to frame that one. And now we've got Deuces Wild with 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. If you're just joining us, Taylor Gadbois got the only run of this game back in the first on an infield single and came around to score from second base. As that ball's laced into left field, that's going to be the first hit, and it goes past Landry all the way to the corner. Going around into third base on the play will be the aforementioned Wang Bei with a sliding triple, and the tying run is 60 feet away now for the Eagles.
The first hit of the night for the Eagles, well, it's a big one as this ball gets by Bailey Landry in left field. Wang Bei races around all the bags and slides safely into third.
Another extra base hit for the Beijing Eagles. And now let's see what the strategy is going to be here. They got the perfect hitter up now in Shi Kai-Lin for the home team. Takiako playing way in at third base, looking for a potential bunt situation. Escobedo into the rock with a nice breaking pitch that Steve Gold says crossed the outside corner for strike one.
And if I'm Escobedo and I keep getting that outside corner to the left-handed batters, I'm going to keep throwing it there off the plate.
And she puts it right there again. You called it, Barbara, and she'll just keep going there as long as she gets that frame there from Sandberg. Shi Kai-Lin on fire here in the early going. And the 0-2 is swung on and missed. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for Shi Kai-Lin. And that will retire the side as Escobedo has struck out at least one hitter in every inning. And there you see again the triple the other way to Wang Bei that got by Landry. And we saw some great speed from number 15 as she slides in. But the Eagles strand her 60 feet away with the tying run. So the Eagles fail to score. They do pick up that aforementioned triple, their first hit of the ball game. But they strand her at third base. We'll head to the top of the fifth. The Texas Charge still leading by a score of 1-0 over the Beijing Eagles on the Olympic Channel at NPF TV. Top half of the fifth inning of play and a 1-0 leader. And there you can get in touch with the Texas Charge and all their Facebook as well as Twitter and Snapchat accounts. And there you get some of the information. I had a chance to talk to Scott Smith, the president and general manager, before the ball game, and talked about that great interstate rivalry they got going now with the Scrapyard Dogs.
Yeah, it is. I think that's exactly what it's going to become, is a rivalry. They are the two newest teams in the NPF. Charge, this is their third year in the league, formerly from Dallas, now this year playing out of the Bobcat Stadium for Texas State.
Adidas products break records, set trends, and make history every day all over the world. As that ball's grounded foul. Everything we do is bound by one simple thought. We strive to help you perform at your best. Your success is our ambition. Your defeat spurs us on to do better. You can find us at adidas.com or follow us at Adidas US. And yeah, that became a more of a regional situation for the Charge, Barbara, as they're basically drawing from a couple different markets now with Austin as well as San Antonio there in San Marcos.
Yeah, and I think a great pickup naming Scott Smith as the new general manager. Very disciplined man. He spent 26 years in the U.S. Army. He accepted this position.
Enough said.
Yeah, August 2016. So he ended his 26 years in November 2016 to be full-time with the Texas Charge.
And thank you very much for your service, sir.
Absolutely.
So Amanda Kamikona will come to the plate. She bounced back to Wang Lan back in inning number 2, as Wang now entering her 5th inning of work. She has really been the workhorse in the circle so far for the Beijing Eagles. Here's the 2-2. Good job by Amanda to foul that one off. Amanda's donned various uniforms. And there again, you see the tweet there coming in. Top half of the 5th. Charge have out-hit the Eagles, now 4-1. The 2-2 is hit. It's got home run distance if it stays fair, but it curves foul into the corner. as once again that wind knocked down that ball, as Amanda was able to turn on that pitch nicely.
Arizona, one of those players growing up, grew up playing baseball in Southern California. Actually played baseball until she was 16 years old, then realizes she wanted to get a scholarship for college, and that's how she transferred to softball.
She's fighting right now to stay alive here on Wang Lan. We've got some action now in the Eagle bullpen. And that is Chung Wei Yao loosening up, the right-hander for Coach Wilson. Kamikona with a wide open stance from the right-hand side. Here's the 2-2. And I think she failed to check up. They're not going to take any chances with the ground, with the ball bouncing into Shi Kai-Lin.
That's a nice job by Wang Lan. Again, moving the ball, going down in the zone. And nice skills behind the plate by Shi Kai-Lin.
Third strikeout for Wang Lan here tonight. And Wang Lan on the season with 7 strikeouts, and she has yet to walk a hitter this year. She's shown great poise as well as accuracy in the circle here for Coach Wilson. Renata Davis has one of the 4 charge hits tonight, a double, but then she was thrown out trying to steal third base with 2 outs. And that's how the top half of the second ended for the visitors. And Davis again trying to get that ball down to third base.
Well, Mike, we had a chance to visit with head coach Crystal Bustos of the Texas Charge, and she was telling us that she wants the players, even though it's early, this is only their 6th game of the season, she wants the players to be more instinctive, to realize they know the game. Don't look for her for a sacrifice or when to hit behind a runner. Do what you know instead of relying on the head coach to tell you, basically what cards to play.
Here's the 0-2 now by Wang Lin, and that's looped into left field. It'll be played on a hop by Su Shun. So Renata Davis is now 2 for 2, and we'll go back to the top of the order with Taylor Gadbois.
Nice job by Renata Davis. Again, getting fisted, but strong enough to sink this ball in for a base hit.
Well, that's just a quick swing there by Davis, really pulling in the hands to get the barrel of the bat on the ball on that inside pitch. So Taylor Gadbois has been a thorn in the side of the defense here for the Eagles as she's 2 for 2, the former Tiger from Missouri. Good speed aboard with Davis. Very impressed with the fundamental play by Shi Kai-Lin behind the plate, Barbara. She really jumps out of that crouch and gets ready to throw, and we saw her skills in scooping up that errant third strike and throwing down to first.
She also does a great job on anticipation with runners on base. She doesn't get caught sitting.
That's a big insurance run for the Charge to pick up. Yeah, talking to Coach Bustos, and she was mentioning that the skill level for these players is very high, off the charts, and they certainly can do all the 5 things that you can do in softball, with hitting for power, speed, defense, pitching, of course, and hitting for average as that ball is grounded down to the third baseman, Wang Bei, and she is going to go ahead and eat it there as nobody was at first base. Both middle infielders went over to cover on Renata Davis.
So this is a nice job by Texas Charge because they understand that the Eagles are having some communication problems on who's covering what bag, and on that play, Chung Yen covers second base on the bunt, where Yuan Ming charged, nobody at first base. So Texas Charge adds another runner on base.
Boy, good job there by Wang Bei. She could have threw that ball right into right field and could have gave up 2 runs there. Good job of holding on to the softball. Is now Bailey Landry, who scalded the ball last time up, will come up. Hits that off the end of the bat for strike 1. Yeah, those instincts that players develop, that's something that you get over time. And it's certainly something that's not taught. It's instinctive and it's situational. Here's the 0-1 now by Wang Lan, and that's fouled back. And, of course, you played the game, Barbara. You understand that. You understand that certain situations call for certain types of hitting, whether you sacrifice or, give up that out to get that runner over and then get him in.
I think a big part of that is for Bailey Landry. She's coming in right out of college, playing her career at LSU. But for the players that have been in the league, it's getting yourself in shape to do those things that you need to do to help your team win.
Good job by Shi Kylene to hold on to that foul tip for the second strikeout of the inning for Wang Lan. And that's a huge out there. So now 2 outs. And with first base, with 2 runners on now to Nadia Taylor.
Wang Lan did a nice job with her drop ball, getting Landry for the second time tonight with the strikeout.
4 punch outs now with 2 of those coming against the slugger Landry. Now Nadia Taylor is looking for her first hit tonight. Grounds it sharply to Liu Lili. She'll go the short way and get the force over to Chao Jing. And once again, number 5 continues her great play at shortstop.
Nice job by Liu Lili, showing her glove with a nice soft throw to collect the third out of the inning.
So that'll be a 6-4 on the put out there of Davis coming, or checked out of Gadbois coming down to second base. So the Charge failed to score here in the top half of the 5th. They pick up a couple base hits and they strand both runners. We will head to the bottom half of the 5th inning of play. So far, Texas Charge still leading the Beijing Eagles 1-0. You're watching the Olympic Channel and NPF TV.
Quiero tener un trabajo en algo que me encante. Quiero divertirme y a la vez conocer muchas personas. El Illinois Media School tiene muchas cosas increíbles que ofrecer, no solo para mí, sino para todos sus estudiantes. Y con todas las cosas que aprendes, no hay manera de no ser exitoso. Aprenderás no solo a hacer segmentos de audio al aire y usar el equipo de cámara, incluso puedes tener tu propio show de radio o televisión. Y los instructores trabajan en la industria. Así que visita bionair.com y empieza tu carrera en broadcasting ya.
Welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont. 1-0 lead for the Texas Charge over the Beijing Eagles. As the Eagles will send the middle third of their order, starting it off will be Nancy Bowling, who so far is 0 for 1 with a ground out to Kami Kona back in the second inning of play. Dallas Escobedo into the rock. That one's hit right up the elevator shaft. Let's see if there's any room for Sandberg. There's not. And fans, you can stay connected with your favorite teams and players all season long by downloading the NPF app or following the NPF on all social media platforms at ProFastPitch, hashtag NPF 2017. Escobedo has given up only 1 hit so far in 4 innings of work, a triple to Wang Bei that skipped by Bailey Landry back in the 4th inning of play, but then the Eagles stranded her there with 2 outs. Very impressed with the pitch placement so far for Dallas Escobedo this evening. That ball again is fisted right over the screen and out of play.
And again, and we look again, Escobedo continues to get ahead of the hitters. And you hear this when pitchers are young, you have to get ahead, but it remains to be a key to any pitcher's success, getting ahead in the count. And we have seen Escobedo's success here tonight because she has done that successfully for the first 4 innings she's pitched.
He's also done a great job of not getting that ball over the plate on an 0-2 pitch and giving up those hits when the batter's in the hole. There's a sharp grounder. Renata Davis bobbles, and she will not be able to recover on that one. And it looks like they're going to put up an error right away there on the shortstop and former Wolfpack for the Texas Charge.
It's a sharp ground ball to Davis, but a play that Davis should make as it's just in and out of her glove. And we saw when the Charge was taking batting practice earlier today, head coach Crystal Bustos, who was a shortstop, spent some time at shortstop during her career. A lot of people know her for her hitting, but she was fantastic on the defensive side. She was out there with Renata Davis before the game, going over footwork, talking about angles. But the thing that impressed me the most, Mike, was that Coach Bustos was fielding ground balls barehanded. I thought that was pretty cool.
Now Roman 4 coming in here as we've got a substitution coming in at first base, a pinch runner for the Eagles, as they try to get some speed on there, as Nancy Bowling has gone back to the bench. I think that was Leo Fifi over there, number 1. And meanwhile, Sue Shun.
First base, number 1, Liu Fifi. Fifi pinch running for Bowling at first base.
So some good speed aboard here in the 5th inning, as Coach Wilson knows there's not going to be a lot of opportunities here to get that tying run or possibly take the lead in this game. So Sue Shun is 0 for 1. She shortens up and bounces it over. Here's a long throw, and let's see, they overplay the bag there, but the throw was in time there to Kami Kona. A nice throw there all the way across the diamond by Takiaku as they get the force at second base.
I'll tell you what, Takiaho's momentum was coming all the way into home plate, but she throws back across the field. But the play that makes this is the backhanded dig by Kami Kona to finish that play.
Yeah, that ball could have ended up in center field, and they could have had a real problem. Sue Shun remains at first base on the fielder's choice, as Yeo Ming Han will foul it off the screen. The Akron Racers and Scrapyard Dogs are tied at 3 apiece in the 4th inning. Akron came up with 3 in the 2nd. Scrapyard answered with 1 in their half of the frame and then picked up 2 more in the 3rd to tie it up. Scrapyard been showing some good power here in the early going. Nerissa Myers, Elisa Goller. It's been a former Bandit party down there with the power hitting.
A lot of movements in the offseason, and the Bandits had some players, even though they won back-to-back Kohl's Cup, had some players go to different teams. Angel Bunner goes to USSSA. Brittany Cervantes, Elisa Goller. Elisa Goller was a Bandit, then a Rebellion, now a Scrapyard Dog. Brittany Cervantes now down with the Scrapyard Dogs. And don't forget about the head coach of the Bandits from last year. Now a coach with the Scrapyard Dogs. That's Mike Stewarwall.
Yep, he's doing some front office work for them. Here's the 2-1 now by Dallas. That's it right back towards us and out of play, evening the count up at 2-2. And that was the first game that Cervantes, coming back from Japan, playing for Scrapyard tonight, as she gets the nod along with her former teammate from the Bandits, Taylor Edwards, doing a great job behind the plate. And Elisa Goller been doing some great job off the bench for the Scrapyard Dogs in the power department. So runner on first base is Sue Shun. That's the tying run for the home team tonight. And the 2-2 catches the outside corner, and Dallas Escobedo continues to pick up at least 1 strikeout every inning out here tonight.
Great performance so far by Escobedo, and again, she continues to stretch the zone, painting those corners.
Well, I can see where you can get really comfortable in the circle with Kristen Sandberg behind the plate.
Well, Sandberg's so experienced behind the plate. And she not only does a great job framing, I think she just really establishes a good confidence with the pitcher. She understands or helps them understand what's working well and what the pitchers need to do to be successful.
Chung Yen fouls it straight back and out of play. And again, Escobedo ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Britt Vonk picking up a couple of RBIs for the Scrapyard Dogs in that game. And meanwhile, the Akron Racers doing a great job of spreading the wealth. Kristen Wyckoff picking up a couple of hits and an RBI. Griffin Joyner and A.J. Andrews, another former Bandit, picking up an RBI for the Akron Racers. Here's the 0-2 now by Dallas, and a swing and a miss as she picks up her 2nd strikeout, so she gets 1 looking and 1 swinging here in the 5th inning of play. So we will head to inning number 6 as again Dallas Escobedo going to the bottom of the circle and working her magic as she picks up the strikeout there of Chung Yen. We'll head to the top half of the 6th inning of play. That first inning run holding up so far for the Charge as they lead it 1-0. You're watching the Olympic Channel and NPF TV.
What if there were no rules? No limits? Nothing to stop you pushing harder, running faster, reaching higher. What if you could train and perform at your peak? Feel stronger for longer. Be your best. Always. Every time.
Welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont. We move to the top half of the 6th inning of play. Rawlings is the leading manufacturer and marketer of sporting goods in the United States and the official helmet of National Pro Fast Pitch. Through its products and players, Rawlings is unquestionably the mark of a pro. New hurler in the circle for the Beijing Eagles is Li Chi, as she will come in. Let's take a look at the thumbnail sketch here of number 3. So far, she's pitched 2 2/3 innings, given up 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. She's walked 3, struck out 1 with an 0-run record and a 7.88 earned run average for the softball. Middle third of the order for the Charge with Hager, Sadaratka, and Sandberg to face the lefty for Coach Teresa Wilson. Charge have out-hit the Eagles 6-2, both teams with a miscue so far tonight. And the Taylor Gadboy's base running excellence, so far the difference in this game.
Way back in the first inning, it was Nadia Taylor who just hit a ball right in front of the plate with Gadboy's on second. And when the catcher fielded and threw it to first, Gadboy's going from second to home. Quickly as that.
You know, the old saying, speed kills, and it certainly does here in the NPF. Count now 1-2 to Hager. She is 1 for 2, single to left in the first, and she is one of 3 strikeout victims for Eagle pitchers tonight. Nice let-up pitch is softly lined over to the third baseman Wang Bei, and she'll put it away for out number 1. That's a can of corn there for Wang Bei at the third base bag. So now Misha will come to the plate. She's 0 for 2 so far tonight. Well, this is eerily similar to that opening game of their history here in the NPF when they lost 1-0, Barbara. Just a great pitcher's duel between these two ball clubs.
Well, Wang Lan, the starting pitcher for the Eagles, really did a nice job scattering 6 hits through her 5 innings in the circle. And now I like this compliment to her, bringing in Li Chi, who has an off-speed. She doesn't throw quite as hard. So it's a different look for the Charge batters.
Got a double barrel activity now for Teresa Wilson and the Eagle bullpen. Meanwhile, Li Chi is ahead of Sadaratka here, no balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if she goes to the waste pitch here. She gets the sign from Shi Kylene, and she does that nicely. And just those little things like that, they're starting to pick up in the game as they continue to improve. Sadaratka so far is 0 for 2. She did reach on an error back in the first. Let up pitches hit towards left field. Su Shun goes back to the track, back to the wall as it hits the base of the wall. And that's going to be a stand-up double here for Misha Sadaratka. So the Charge pick up a very important insurance runner here in scoring position with 1 out in the 6th.
Sadaratka gives it a long drive to left field off the top of the wall as it stays inside the ballpark.
Yeah, I think the wind may have kept that from heading over the wall on the Boomba sign at the 210 mark. And now Roman 4 is going to come in as you see that ball just kind of drifting there on Su Shun.
Well, Su Shun got caught running with the ball a little bit. It was a high fly ball, and she about ran back on it at the same pace. Had she possibly sprinted back and found the wall, I think she would have been able to bring that ball in.
So now they're going to pinch hit here for Sandberg. Katiyanga Maunga is going to come into the ball game here, the former Wildcat from Arizona. And she will come in now and hit for Kristen Sandberg.
A pinch runner and a pinch hitter for Texas, running at second, number 1, Brittany Gomez.
Brittany Gomez is going to be the runner here for Sadarotka at second base. So the rookie draftee will come in, Gomez, out of Iowa State.
Malga pinch hitting for Kristen Sandberg. Gomez running for Sadaraka.
Malga so far 1 for 8 on the season with a run scored. She picked up 3 RBI, so she made a lot of use of that one base hit. So Lee Chi gets her sign. Good job by Shi Kylene as she's framed that pitch, and the count evens up at 1 apiece.
Well, Malga comes in her rookie season, and no surprise, her one hit is a home run, as she finished her collegiate career at the University of Arizona second all-time in the NCAA in home runs with 91, second behind Lauren Chamberlain of USSSA.
Good job by Lee Chi on that one. Yeah, right in the stratosphere there are some of the best home run hitters in the history of collegiate softball. Lee Chi keeping the power hitter off balance with that off-speed pitch. Both corners playing to cut off extra base hit for, and waved on and missed by Malga. And again, a strikeout for the bullpen from the Eagles in a clutch situation, and now there's 2 out.
Well, this is a nice job by Lee Chi because she gets ahead of Malga, and then she just stretches the zone with 2 strikes and gets Malga to chase.
Takiaku now will come to the plate. Missy is 0 for 2 so far with a ground out to Leo Lili at short, and then she fouled out back in the 4th inning of play. Looking ahead to the Eagle half of the 6th, they'll have the bottom of the order with Leo Lili, and then back to the top of the order against Escobedo as the Charge bullpen remains dormant. Takiaku with a wide open stance from the right-hand side. Here's the 0-1. And let's see what they decide to do at first base open. Here and 2 outs. Double threes out of Cal State. Outfield again playing medium depth, looking to cut off this possible insurance run here for the Charge. They've out-hit the Eagles now 7-2. Lee Chi's 1-1 hit right up the elevator shaft. Let's see if they call off the catcher, and they do so. Good job of communication as Yuan Ming Han calls off Shi Kylene and makes the catch there, Barbara. Good communication.
Nice job by the Eagles. We've seen their communication on balls put in play tonight.
So the Charge waste another extra base hit. They have now stranded 6 through 6 innings of offensive softball. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th as the Charge again leading by the slimmest of margin over the Beijing Eagles 1-0. You're watching the Olympic TV channel as well as NPF TV.
I want to have a job in something I love. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social.
The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students.
With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Thanks again. Great job by Ryan Fahey, Peter Ferrari, and the rest of the folks at the Illinois Media School for helping us out here tonight, doing a great job producing and directing today's broadcast. We head to the bottom half of the sixth inning of play, Barbara Jordan, and boy, this has certainly turned out to be a great pitcher's duel as the Eagle bullpen comes in and does the job for Beijing. First pitch to Leo Lely, a little bit outside for ball one.
Well, one of the things the Eagles needed tonight was a strong pitching performance, and they got that from Wang Lan for 5 innings. And then this past inning, Li Chi coming in and putting them in a position where the Eagles can win this game, down 1-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Leo Lely, one of the strikeout victims for Dallas Escobedo. She's had at least one punch out in every frame tonight, including 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and a single strikeout in the first, fourth, and fifth. There's certainly been a lot of 1-2 and 0-2 counts tonight.
Well, we've talked all night about Escobedo continually getting ahead of the Eagle batters, and that's what's given her a lot of success so far.
And a swing and a miss by Leo Lely. So Escobedo now with 8 strikeouts tonight. So Escobedo came in with not a stellar strikeout to walk ratio. She had walked 4 and struck out 3 coming in, but now she's up to 11-4 in that category. She's not walked a hitter tonight as well. So Yuen Wei Ning, the leadoff hitter for Coach Wilson, will stand in. And again, now she's behind, no balls and 2 strikes quickly. Chen Jia on deck. There you get a good look at the former Sun Devil. Puts that one right on. It looks like both her and Kristen Sandberg right now got a great rapport going on tonight.
Well, if the batters are going to continue to swing at the pitches out of the zone, there's no need to throw the ball in the zone.
And a good job by Kristen to frame that one. And that's strikeout number 9 now for Escobedo.
And this is what happens. When you're uncertain what the zone is and you chase balls out of the zone, you start guessing as a hitter. And then you start taking good pitches in the zone.
And that ball has to be entirely in the strike zone at the top of the zone. It can catch a part of it at the bottom and the sides, but it's got to be all the way in at the top. Chen Jia so far 0 for 2. She's one of the 9 strikeout victims for Escobedo, swinging in the first, and then she grounded out to Takiako back in the fourth. Stay tuned after the game. We'll name our Vaults Lock It Up Player of the Game.
I know who I'm leaning towards.
I don't think either of us are going to go out on the heavy limb tonight if things stay the same. 2 strikeouts here are the first 2 hitters. And everything, even if it misses, is within just fractions of an inch. Outfield playing very shallow and playing Chen Jia to swing a little bit late. As Dallas has been right around 65, 66 on the fastball, and with that breaking pitch, certainly a nice distinction in speed between those 2 pitches coming into the hitter. Takiako playing about a step off the bag at third. Deuce is wild. And the pitch catches the corner, and Steve Gold rings it up. So it is a strikeout of the side for Dallas Escobedo and the Texas Charge. So the Charge giving high fives to everybody here in the sideline. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on base. 6 innings in the books. We'll head to the top half of the 7th in a pitcher's duel tonight as the Charge continue to lead the Eagles here on Olympic TV and NPF TV by a score of 1-0.
Quiero tener un trabajo en algo que me encante. Quiero divertirme y a la vez conocer muchas personas. El Illinois Media School tiene muchas cosas increíbles que ofrecer, no solo para mí, sino para todos sus estudiantes. Y con todas las cosas que aprendes, no hay manera de no ser exitoso. Aprenderás no solo a hacer segmentos de audio al aire y usar el equipo de cámara, incluso puedes tener tu propio show de radio o televisión. Y los instructores trabajan en la industria. Así que visita beonair.com y empieza tu carrera en broadcasting ya.
Top half of the seventh here in a 1-0 ball game, and the teams at the top swing Louisville Slugger. You too can swing the technology that's dominating the game at every level of play, from high school to the NCAA championships to the world stage. Visit slugger.com for more information. So the Charge now trying to get a little bit of insurance here in a 1-0 ball game. Kylie Lawners has picked up a bat here, the former Husky, batting here for Kamikona and the Charge. And she certainly has got some great power off the bench here for Coach Bustos. Open stance from the right-hand side. She wears the shin guard as protection on the front foot as Lee Chi's pitch stays downstairs to even the count up. The former Washington Husky looking for her first hit of the season. Lee Chi, as many of these pitchers for the Beijing Eagles, started her softball way back in the late 90s. Back in 1998. Started professionally in 2001, so she's been a professional pitcher here for about 16 years.
That's impressive.
Couple of Olympic Games, Barbara, in 2004 and 2008, so she's been on the biggest stage of them all.
And I'm sure being here over in the United States and facing the greatest hitters in the league in National Pro Fast Pitch, she's getting fine-tuned and gearing up for 2020.
Staff has started to develop some depth for Coach Wilson. We've already talked about Wang Lan and what she's been able to do. Nancy Bowling has been able to come in and give him some long relief. And now Lee Chi starting to fortify the bullpen. Here's a 3-2sports.com payoff coming up here in a 1-0 ball game. And it hits the corner, and Steve Gold rings her up for strikeout number 1 for Lee Chi out of the bullpen. Actually, her second strikeout.
Lee Chi going right at Lawners, and with 2 strikes, she paints that outside corner. Lawners unable to pull the trigger.
Steve Gold's been very consistent on both sides of the plate tonight. So Renata Davis, who's perfect so far this evening, 2 for 2. An extra base hit back in the second and a single. As Taylor Gadbois, the leadoff hitter, waits on deck for the Charge. Texas trying to even up their record at 3 apiece and keep the Beijing Eagles winless. But I tell you what, this Beijing Eagle team has gone through a lot of Heartbreak Hotel here so far, as now that hits Davis. So they have a 1-out base runner here in the 7th.
I'll tell you, we've talked about Davis during her career with the Charge. She's batted leadoff. She's been in the 2-hole this year. She's in the 9-hole, and it's a great fit for her as she has reached base all 3 times tonight.
She takes that off the left side there. Looked like an off-speed pitch, so probably not a lot of pain on that one. As now Taylor will come to the plate. She is 3 for 3 here tonight and has scored the only run of the ball game, as that ball was caught there by Shi Kai-Lin. They're actually going to say that it was they call that a ball. They got a strike on the scoreboard unless they said that they were trying to see whether or not she was out or not. No, they do finally call it a ball. So Gadbois continuing her all-NPF performance from last year with a good start here in 2017. Wade Bond is way in at the third base bag, as they're expecting small ball here from Gadbois.
Renata Davis going on that pitch. So a little slap and run for the Charge with 1 out.
Renata did a good job there looking back at the hitter about halfway down. She got some good speed heading towards second base. So here's the 1-1 in a 1-0 ball game. One out here in the 7th. And this time they pitch out, but Renata's not going.
And with that pitch out, I think it's the first time tonight where we've seen the Eagles go to the right base defensively. A lot of times tonight, the Charge has showed bunt, and the Eagles have come up short covering a base.
Outfield playing medium depth to play Taylor to go the other way. Beautiful play at third base by Wong Bei, and they double up Renata Davis. What a play.
Wong Bei covers so much ground to bring this soft liner in. Lu Li was actually breaking towards the bag as Davis was going on the pitch. If she doesn't come up with that ball, it easily goes through. Huge play on the defensive side, and now we're going to see if that defensive play can give the Eagles some momentum as they come up for their last offensive at-bat.
Once again, Wong Bei at third base, anticipating that situation as Gadboy just tried to get that ball over her head. She gets it right in the webbing and has the presence of mind to go right across with the laser beam throw over to Yuen Ming Han for the 5-3 twin killing. So in the inning for the Charge, they failed to score. They do not get a base hit, and they leave no runners on the double play, the 5-3 double play there by Wang Bei. And we will head to the bottom half of the 7th. The Eagles need 1 to tie and 2 to win as they trail here to the Texas Charge 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th on Olympic TV and NPF TV. And welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont as we move to the bottom half of the 7th inning of play. And the Beijing Eagles need at least 1 here to tie, Barber, or 2 to come up with a victory. And we'll see if Dallas Escobedo can finish the deal. Wong Bei, who made that great defensive play, and is what happens a lot in not only baseball but in softball, the player that makes the great play in the last half of the inning leads it off the next inning. And now Escobedo quickly ahead of her, no balls and 2 strikes. And Coach Bustos has all the confidence in the world here in Dallas as there's no action right now in the bullpen.
Well, North, should there be, Escobedo has been in command. She really has dominated so far. I guess you could always have somebody loosening up. You never know. But Escobedo tonight has really done it right. She has not fallen behind a single hitter.
And the 0-2 is tomahawk foul. President and GM Scott Smith standing nervously in the bullpen as he tries to get his ball club to the 500 mark and keep track and keep pace with the USSSA Pride, who came up with a victory tonight in a sweep over the Chicago Bandits. Here's the 0-2. Grounded sharply, and it goes underneath the glove of Takiaku into left field. So the Eagles have their leadoff runner here and the tying run on as they pick up their third base hit of the evening.
With 2 strikes, Escobedo too close to the plate. Wong Bei hits it sharply, gets it right by Takiaho as it nicks off her glove and trickles out to left field.
So Leo Monmon will come to the plate now. And she will come in for Shi Kai-Lin. Monmon so far looking for her first base hit as a professional. And now the translator standing with Teresa Wilson trying to make sure that they get everything right here as far as what the strategy is going to be. And this is going to be a very interesting situation with the game on the line.
And there you see the extra woman standing in that circle with Coach Wilson, and that's the translator. And that is the big challenge for head coach Teresa Wilson, is everything she wants these players to understand has to be translated.
Yeah, I was talking to Jenny, who's the translator for them, and as well as Coach Wilson, here's the first pitch to Monmon, and it's fouled off the screen. And they were mentioning that it's very difficult sometimes because a lot of the slang that's developed over the years in the sport, and to be able to get that exactly in the correct translation for the player. So Wang Bei with good speed. We've already seen her go around the bases for a triple at first. This ball is fisted. Let's see, it's going to be corralled there by the second baseman for the Texas Chargers. Lawners is now moved in to take over for Kami Kona at second base. So one out here in the seventh.
Well, this ball fists Mom. She's unable to do anything with it as it becomes routine for Lawners as she drop steps and brings it in.
So Nancy Bowling reinserted back into the lineup here as a tying run again at first base. Charge have out hit the Eagles 7-3, both teams with a miscue. And that one run that Taylor Gadbois was able to manufacture back in the first is still holding up. Bowling is 0 for 1. Now she shortens up as if to bunt it. It's caught in the air by Sandberg, and that's out number 2, and a great job by the Georgia Bulldog.
It was a great read by Bowling. Sadaraka was back at first base. Had she got this ball on the ground, she would have had herself a base hit, but she gets underneath it, and it becomes an easy out for Sandberg behind the plate.
So the last hope here for the Eagles is Sue Shun. She's 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a ground out to Kami Kona to end the second. She got a good cut at that one, but fouls it back to the screen for strike one. Escobedo looking for a 3-hit shutout. Trying to even up her record at 1 apiece and even up the Charge record overall at 3-3. Here's the 0-1. And it's lined in a diving catch by Takiako, and that's a Texas Charge winner.
Final score tonight, the Texas Charge defeat the Beijing.
Soon Chun turned on this ball and hit a laser at Takiaho, who made a fantastic catch to end this game and seal the win for the Texas Charge.
So both third basemen in both half of the seventh inning coming up with prime-time plays here to help their respective ball clubs. And the single run in the first inning that Taylor Gadbois was able to manufacture is, again, you get a look at the great reaction by Missy Takiako as a strand bay at first base to end the ball game is, again, rocket shot down there and moving to her right, just inside the third base bag. Not sure if that would have been fair or not, Barbara, but Missy wasn't taking any chances.
Well, it's a nice catch by Takiaho and a nice first win here at the ballpark at Rosemont this year for the Texas Charge. It's a good team win. They scattered 7 hits throughout the night. I'm sure they would have liked to have put up more runs.
So Crystal Bustos and Roman Four now talking to their Charges as they get together in shallow left field along with the president and general manager Scott Smith, and they will talk about this 1-0 victory over the Beijing Eagles as they now move to 3-3, and the Beijing Eagles now will fall to 0-5. We'll take a brief timeout. We will come back. Barbara will give us our final numbers here, and we will then go down to the field and interview our Vaults Lock It Up player of the game following the Charges' 1-0 victory over the Eagles on the Olympic Channel and NPF TV.
tener un trabajo en algo que me encante. Quiero divertirme y a la vez conocer muchas personas. El Illinois Media School tiene muchas cosas increíbles que ofrecer, no solo para mí, sino para todos sus estudiantes. Y con todas las cosas que aprendes, no hay manera de no ser exitoso. Aprenderás no solo a hacer segmentos de audio al aire y usar el equipo de cámara, incluso puedes tener tu propio show de radio o televisión. Y los instructores trabajan en la industria. Así que visita beonair.com y empieza tu carrera en broadcasting ya.
Welcome back to the ballpark at Rosemont. We had quite a game here at Rosemont. It was the Texas Charge taking on the Shogun Eagles, and it was the Texas Charge with 1 run in the first inning, and that run came with Nadia Taylor up to bat. She hit the ball out in front of the plate with 2 outs. Taylor Gadbois on that check swing hit in front of the plate came from second to home, scored the lone run of the game, and the story of the night was in the circle. It was Dallas Escobedo. 11 strikeouts on the night, was fantastic in the circle. She really set the tone. She was in charge the entire game. Offensively for the Charge, they were led by Taylor Gadbois at the top of the lineup, 3 for 3 on the night. Renata Davis in the 9-hole, 2 for 2 on the night. And the Charge were challenged defensively a couple times throughout the night. But it was on the offensive side where the Charge really tried to make things happen. They tested the Shogun Eagles on the defensive side. And it really ended up being a thriller, ended up being a pitcher's duel where everybody coming tonight thought we'd see a lot of runs put on the board. But really it came down to the pitchers. Wang Lon for the Eagles gave up 6 hits over 5 innings. And she was relieved by Li Chi, who gave up 1 hit in her 2 innings. And we're going to go down to the field with Mike Knezevich. He is with Dallas Escobedo, who is the Vault Lock It Up player of the game.
Welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont as the Texas Charge have defeated the Beijing Eagles by a score of 1-0. We're going to bring on our Vaults Lock It Up player of the ball game, and it's Dallas Escobedo of the Texas Charge. And Dallas, congratulations on the victory out here tonight. How did it feel being in the circle and getting a 3-hit complete game?
It felt great. My last outing didn't go as well as I planned, and to come out and just kind of have a good mental approach and just be able to come in strong and stay strong the whole game, it just felt good. This is a good night.
What is it like being in the circle and seeing that great defense behind you, especially Missy's play to end the game?
Oh, I know. I was like, thanks for making that up. She's like, I got you. So it's great. I mean, mishaps happen, but I know that it's not going to happen all the time. Like, they're great defenders out there. I mean, I couldn't ask for more, really.
On the offensive side of things, you get 3 hits from Taylor Gadbois and 2 from Renata Davis, a couple of veterans coming through for you. How about that speed at the top of the order by Taylor?
Definitely speed kills, and she is beyond fast. I was like, oh my gosh, that'll be a close play, and I'm like, she just beat it out like no other. So it's speed definitely kills, and then Renata coming up with a big hit and just having her speed as well. I mean, it all plays together.
How is it having a battery mate like Kristen Sandberg, a veteran that knows these hitters and knows the league?
Oh, she's phenomenal. I've had an opportunity to throw her for a while now, and couldn't be better. She's so good.
Well, congratulations, Dallas. 11 strikeouts tonight for you and the Charge. You come up with the shutout here, and best of luck the rest of the series and this season.
Thank you very much.
Dallas Escobedo is our Vaults Lock It Up player of the game tonight. 11 strikeouts and a 1-0 win for the Texas Charge over the Beijing Eagles. We'll send it back to Barbara Jordan, and we'll come back to wrap it up here on the Olympic Channel as well as on NPF TV.
What if there were no rules? No limits? Nothing to stop you pushing harder, running faster, reaching higher. What if you could train and perform at your peak? Feel stronger for longer. Be your best. Always. Every time.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
I got started at IMS here as an instructor a couple years back after I'd heard a couple of people I worked with were also instructors here, and after being in the industry of radio and sports phone and TV and play-by-play for as long as I have been, I figured that it would be a good thing to come on out. I had some free time, come on out and help out some of the people that want to be the next people involved in these kind of things, next people that hit the radio airwaves and also do play-by-play. So I thought it was a great idea and a great place to do it at. When I'm here, it's great because there's always somebody that has either heard me, has wanted to meet me, and once they meet me, I explain to them, okay, it wasn't that big a deal. But if I'm always here if you need help with developing what you're passionate about, and that's what most people come here for. They have a passion. They want to do something. They want to do radio play-by-play. They want to do sports talk. They want to do updates, whatever it may be. I love being here and helping them become better at what they're trying to work at. And it's great because the one thing about the students is they're really good at listening to criticisms. Once you get into the business, it's difficult because people all think that, okay, I've made it. But here at the school, everybody wants to get better. And that's one of the better things, and one of the things I really enjoy about it is they'll come and they'll say, how can I make this better? And I always tell them I'm going to be super critical of everything I tell them because that's the only way they're going to get better. And it's great because every student I've talked to enjoys that because they all want to get better. And that's one of the things I love about it. My name is Fred Hubner. I work at ESPN 1000 as a host and sports anchor. I am an instructor here at the Lombard campus of the Illinois Media School, and I am IMS.
Mike Konezovich here to wrap it up here on the Olympic Channel and NPF TV. Again, thanks to Dallas Escobedo for being our Vaults Lock It Up player of the game tonight. 11 strikeouts for the former Arizona State Sun Devil. And, of course, Taylor Gadbois coming up with the only run in the game on an infield single and coming all the way around from second base on an infield out off the bat of Nadia Taylor. So we'll be back with you tomorrow. There's a doubleheader here at the ballpark at Rosemont as the Beijing Eagles will be hosting the Texas Charge again. And the Chicago Bandits will also be in action as well. Check the NPF website for all the details for our broadcast of NPF softball. Special thanks go out to the director today, Peter Ferrari, for his terrific support, as well as producer Ryan Fahey. Our camera folks, Alex Maldonado, along with Eddie Parker and Tim Helms, bringing you all the sights and sounds here of tonight's ball game at the ballpark at Rosemont. Special thanks to Barbara Jordan for coming in and helping us with color commentary today. We'll also see her tomorrow as well as we continue our coverage of this series between the Beijing Eagles and the Texas Charge as the Eagles continue their training right now after tonight's 1-0 loss to the Texas Charge. So that's going to wrap up our coverage here this evening. Again, check out the NPF website for our details for game number 2 of this series as the Texas Charge defeat the Beijing Eagles tonight by a score of 1-0. This is Mike Konezovich saying so long here from the ballpark at Rosemont. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful evening, everybody. So long from the ballpark at Rosemont.